Hi everybody, this is Tyrelle Audain welcoming you all to my YouTube channel. If you're new to this channel, please smash that subscribe button for more videos and more content. Before I start this video, I just want to say I had to start up a fresh YouTube channel. One, because my account was hacked and terminated. My previous account though was hacked and terminated by a couple of my friends who I have distanced myself from now. That's one. And two, because of all of that, I had to start afresh. And more importantly, soon enough, within the next week, within the next few weeks, I'm supposed to be upgrading my content itself. I'm supposed to get some things for my channel, so look out for that. But without further ado, I just want to get into the video that I'm going to talk about now. I'm going to be talking about what is going on, one, in Pakistan cricket, and two, here in the Caribbean with regards to West Indies, because there has been some changes made in the West Indies selection staff and coaching staff there. But I want to talk about the big cricket mafia that's going on. And I'm talking about Pakistan's own version of Dave Cameron. Now, you all remember Dave Cameron, the man corrupted cricket West Indies so bad, left the cricketing world with severe debt. We had to lose almost 50 million to BCCI because of how we boycotted the India tour almost 9 years back. But I want to put on the public record that this man, NAJAM SETHI, is out there to corrupt Pakistan cricket again. Now let's get right into it, because it is a very long video that we have to talk about. And for those of you all who are new to my channel, I would like you all to subscribe to it for everything cricket, whether it's classic matches, analysts from I, and even my own opinions, which the media and those don't want to take care of. We're talking about Pakistan cricket first and foremost. I'll get to West Indies cricket later on and all of its shenanigans. But I want to talk about the drama that has been unfolding in the last few days inside of PCB. So lately, my friends, Pakistan cricket has been plunged into absolute chaos following the men's team's 3-0 series defeat at home to Bazballs, England, to the controversial, unconstitutional sacking of PCB's chairman Ramiz Raja. Now, here are my thoughts on Pakistan's Test series defeat at home to England. Honestly, Pakistan should have known that England wasn't coming to Pakistan and caring about drawing nor losing the matches. They had always, honestly, they were always coming out with a very aggressive mindset, and Pakistan missed the trick by not producing proper wickets on its own terrains. Now, my friends, there are positives and negatives to take away from this series if you're a fan of the Pakistani men's team. But I want to talk about Abrar Ahmed, the 24-year-old from Sindh, who represents that province in the first-class domestic Quaid-e-Azam Trophy. In my view, he was Pakistan's emerging star with the ball. He took 17 wickets in just 2 tests. He made his debut in the second test match, took 7 wickets in the first innings, then next innings, I believe he took about 3 or 4. He ended up with 11 wickets in the first test match and 6 in the second. He started his test career. He played 2 test matches, and at the end of those 2 tests, he took 17 wickets at a staggering average of 27.3.17. It was also his debut series for the Pakistani men's national cricket team, and he was selected following a tremendous first-class season for Sindh, where he took 43 wickets at a sensational average of 21.95, almost 22, with best figures of 6 for 61, 5 5-wicket hauls, and 1 10-wicket haul. And furthermore, on the first day of his international career, he snapped up a fiver while the English batters were going all guns blazing on what was supposed to be a turning Multan track, which was different from the below average flat decks in Rawalpindi and a balanced bat and ball wicket in Karachi for the last test. Now, the other find for Pakistan in this series was Shad Shakil, Other than Captain Baba and Imam and Abdullah Shafiq, Saad Shakil, in my view, just like leg spinner Abra Ahmed, in his debut series was the fourth leading run scorer overall. He was Pakistan's second leading run scorer after Babar Azam in the series, scoring 346 runs and an average of 57.66, which consists of 3 half centuries and a high score of 94 in the second test of the series. He, in my view, already has a place settled in the Pakistani middle order after the overdue retirement of Azhar Ali from the Pakistani cricket team. And he is one of those batters, other than those who I mentioned earlier, that can play spin very well. They are, he's very talented. He has a long-term future in the Pakistani team. And in my view, even though he came in for Fawad Alam, who was out of form, they shouldn't have dropped Fawad just for another left-hander. They could have immediately dropped Azhar Ali and ended the man career right there, because Azhar has been struggling for runs most of the time, whether it's in the domestic cricket in Pakistan or worse, when Pakistan had played Sri Lanka in Galle earlier this year. But moving past that, there's been a lot of criticism of Babar Azam's captaincy of late, even though he has been the leading run scorer in all of the 3 tests for the men in green. He scored 348 runs, which included just 1 ton and 3 half centuries and an average of exactly 58. But there's been a lot of questions that the media has been asking, and I have 3 questions that I should ask the Pakistani management. Is Baba and the management overworking their main bowlers? Just to remember though, Pakistan came into this series without Shaheen Shah Afridi, and then later on they lost Naseem Shah and then Haris Ralph within a matter of time. And then the so-called media experts in Pakistan, whether it's the good, the bad, and the ugly, started calling Babar Azam and the management a bunch of rubbish. But I will not jump into that. One of them ex-cricketers who got banned for life say he is a top zero. My advice to Babar Azam, ignore those who are criticizing you and just keep performing as a captain and a proper team batter. The second question that's got to be asked, is there biasness when it comes to selecting players on merit or favoritism like here in West Indies cricket? And the other question is, why are deserving players who aren't getting selected for the Pakistan team not getting selected, just like Shad Shakil and Abrab Ahmed, who did very well in the domestic structure? Now, I'm not criticizing Babar Azam though. He's a fantastic captain. He's a great team batter, but those haters, like the former cricketers, the Kamran Akmals, the Salman Butts, the Danish Canadians, and the list goes on, and the sports journalists turned YouTubers like the Rizwan Haddaz, the Moshin Alis, the Wasib Haddaz, and the list goes on, always like to hate Babar Azam. And just for the record, he's one of the top batters in the world game right now. And there are a lot of past players, minus those who I called out, have been praising Babar's captaincy and his batting. Like, for example, Shahid Afridi, who recently turned down a role as one of the board of governors in PCB, and rightfully so, because he did not want himself to get caught up in that. And furthermore, he's doing a lot of charity work and has been taking part in exhibition competitions as well ever since his retirement from the game. Speaking of Pakistan cricket, just a few days ago, Pakistan media sources and ESPN Cricket Info reported that Ramiz Raja had been unconstitutionally sacked by so-called interim Prime Minister Mr. Shehbaz Sharif and had been replaced by former disgraced PCB chairman NAJAM SETHI. Just to remind my viewers, and for those who are tuning in for the first time, this so-called interim Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and his bunch of hoodlums who got into power back in April were the ones that overthrew Imran Khan and were the dirty ones that brought back the corrupt department cricket. Sorry for my long stutters, guys. I do have problems with that. And this son of a bitch, Mr. NAJAM SETHI, this man has a long career of corruption inside the PCB, and let me tell you why. The man took billions of dollars and spent it as allowance. And furthermore, PCB lost billions of dollars because how they had to play cricket outside of Pakistan. Let me give you a background of this hoodlum slash son of a bitch. NAJAM SETHI was first appointed as the acting chairman of Pakistan Cricket Board back in 2013 after the Islamabad High Court ordered the appointment of an interim chairman until a pending case on the serving chairman at the time, Mr. Zakir Ashraf, was decided. Then later on, a two-member bench of Islamabad High Court cleared Ashraf and ordered for his resurrection as chairman of PCB. Then, listen to this, my friends, listen to this. SETI then relinquished chairmanship in 2014, and that's where the negatives for PCB began to occur. As during that time, which cricket was in a mess globally, the SETI-led administration got the worst deal among the big three, which was formed by the BCCI, Cricket Australia, and ECB through the ICC. And they got the worst deal among the non-big three at that time. And then between 2014 to 2016, SETI spent 7 million Pakistani rupees of traveling expenses. 3.3 million rupees were allowance. And to add insult to injury, my friends, he sued PCB for non-compliance of future tours program. Plus, when he had left PCB, the Ishan Money Administration then had no choice but to pay a huge fine of millions of dollars in compensation to the BCCI. Keep in mind, my friends, both the PCB and the BCCI had signed and what is it called? Both the PCB and the BCCI had signed a memorandum of understanding, meaning for both India and Pakistan to play each other yearly. That never occurred because at that time, India had a new government in the BJP led by Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, and his stance was mainly clear. He did not want India playing Pakistan in any sporting events, in particular cricket, except for in ICC tournaments and the Asia Cup. BCCI unfortunately never got permission to play Pakistan because of the government, and furthermore, that led to PCB suing them, and they ended up having to lose millions just because of SETI's shambolic, ridiculous lawsuit. And if it wasn't shambolic nor disastrous enough, when Mr. NAJAM SETI launched the Pakistan Super League, aka PSL, which its 8th season is going to bowl off in March of 2023, sold media rights of PSL to Geo Super, one of the most propagandist media networks in Pakistan. He sold them a very cheap sum of money due to his association with the network at that time. Now, something else that must be pointed out, and that's former cricketers and sports journalists who turned YouTubers all of a sudden ran a campaign to overthrow Rambo just to bring back the man who claimed to have brought international cricket back into the southern Asian country. Just to remind my friends, the main masterminds that brought international cricket back wasn't NAJAM SETI. It was of the mastermind of Mr. Wasim Khan, former Pakistan Cricket Board chairman. He was the man that told all the cricket boards that Pakistan was safe. Now, that was during the early days of Imran Khan's prime minister stint as PM of Pakistan. And at that time, Pakistan was more safe because the security concerns that was happening in the past, that was gone. Now, something else that people need to know as well, and that is the ICC doesn't know that there's been a change of administration in the PCB. So I'm calling on the ICC to get involved in this political interference inside the PCB, because what the government, the interim so-called imported government of Pakistan is doing is trying to destroy the way how cricket is run in the country, and putting someone who has destroyed the glorious game in Pakistan in the past as chairman will be a recipe for chaos and bacchanal. When Mr. SETHI was in power, the quality of cricket was at an all-time low. And the main reason for that was due to players being selected for the Pakistani team through their respective departments and not their respective teams. And furthermore, at that time, if things was getting worse, when things was already worse with Pakistan cricket, they were playing its home games in the United Arab Emirates due to the constant security issues, which cost them billions of rupees, beg your pardon. When Ramiz Raja was in power as chairman of the PCB for the last year and 4 months, similar to Imran Khan, while he was in power as prime minister for the 4 years between 2018 to 2022, a year after Imran Khan took over as prime minister, his administration, PTI, booted out the department cricket out of the domestic cricket system and replaced it with a provincial model similar to English county cricket and Australian state cricket, also similar to South Africa's current structure, which has the provincial sides rather than the franchise format, which had seen 6 teams made up of Pakistan's provinces playing in all tournaments. Coming back to Ramiz Saab, he was the one that brought Australia, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, West Indies, England, and New Zealand to Pakistan. And PTW, all that credit not only should go to him, all of the credit must go to the past chairman, Mr. Wasim Khan, who was sadly removed last year because of insults from so-called sports journalists. With the unfortunate return of department cricket in cricket crazy Pakistan, meaning the return of WAPDA, SNGPL, and Pakistan International Airlines, who all had cricketers that were involved in corruption in the past, the dark days of Pakistan cricket are here once again. This is a wake-up call. ICC needs to know that NAJAM SETHI is not chairman of PCB, and this guy is, and his bunch of hoodlums are going to destroy cricket if they get rid of the 2019 constitution, which they have already did. And for the record, furthermore, just today itself, they got rid of Mohammed Wasim and the entire selection panel. Now, the problem is, who is going to take over now? I'm hearing rumors that Afridi has turned down the road, which is one, true. Secondly, rumors in the media, again, also speculated that Shoaib Akhtar and Inzamam ul Haq have been recommended to take over as chief selector. What can we say so far? That's 1, untruth, and 2, propaganda from the so-called media. Then 3, we're hearing rumors of Mickey Arthur returning as head coach, which so far can be said it's untrue. And Justin Langer, I don't know where his name came from all of a sudden. Just to remind you, he was removed as Australia's head coach because of all sorts of bacchanal that went on behind the scenes. I just don't understand what on earth is going on with Pakistan cricket. It is so similar with West Indies cricket and all sorts of rubbish. What the ICC needs to do is get involved and stop this political interference. It is reminding me of the time where the South African and the Zimbabwean government were interfering with the cricketing activities that was happening inside of their respective administrations, and that led to suspensions. Remember the apartheid, where South Africa cricket was banned for 20 plus years. Then before COVID, Zimbabwe cricket was banned by ICC, which led to them not taking part in the previous T20 World Cup qualifiers before this one, which they, I must say, made a triumphant return. They got past the qualifying stage and got into the Super 12s. And furthermore, this current PCB administration has no planning whatsoever. And then, excuse me, then the next thing, all it did is, scrap everything that was successfully done without authorization. And furthermore, I want Ramiz and his group of lawyers to take this current administration to court and stop all of this happening. Already, cricket has gone back to the old dark times because of those bunch of hoodlums. And for me, as a diehard Pakistan cricket fan since the days of Shoaib Malik, the Yunus Khans, the Mishbahs, and the Afridis. I've been a fan of Pakistan cricket since 2007, and to see the sport going back to its dark days, it is very shameful. And I want the ICC to intervene and stop this political hypocrisy that this so-called new administration is trying to do. From what I heard, they're trying to bring PSL games to Peshawar and Quetta. Keep in mind, Quetta Stadium has no floodlights, one, and also no giant screens. So what is Mr. NAJAM SETHI trying to do? Has this man lost his marbles? This man has no plan. This guy is nothing but a two-bit crook. And furthermore, this man should not be involved in any cricketing activities. This guy has destroyed Pakistan cricket in the past, and with him now coming back, he is going to destroy Pakistan cricket once and for all again, and they have to go back to the drawing board. And honestly, it's just a political football with what's going on in Pakistan cricket. Coming to West Indies cricket now, they have a new interim coach in Mr. Andre Kohli, who I must say, I will not say if it's an excellent choice, this, that, the other, but at least Cricket West needs to try something. So, my friends, listen to this. With all of the shenanigans that's going on in Pakistan cricket right now, there's still the same old crisis that's happening in West Indies cricket, which has been happening for almost 3 decades. What I found out is that this guy who they've selected has experience coaching the academy, because he's the current Cricket West Indies Academy head coach. He previously served as assistant academy head coach and interim academy head coach when the Sajiko Academy was launched in 2010. Also, he also served as head coach of the West Indies under-19 team, and also he was the assistant coach of the West Indies men's and women's team in the past, as well as head coach of Jamaica Scorpions and Windward Islands Volcanoes, who were the Super 50 Cup champions back in 2018. Just to let our viewers know, the Super 50 is one of the domestic 50 over competitions in the Caribbean. And the other good news, if you're a West Indies fan, is that assistant coach Roddy Eswick and batting coach Monty Desiree haven't renewed their contracts, which means now Cricket West Indies are looking for a new assistant coach and a new batting coach respectively. And I just want what's best for West Indies cricket, because I'm sick and fed up of the decline happening over and over and the same old batting collapse over and over. I just want what's best for West Indies cricket, because even though I'm fed up of what's happening, at least this guy who they brought in as head coach has experience in the domestic system, and hopefully he does well as interim head coach. Once he does well, they might probably pick him as a long-term coach, but who knows? West Indies cricket is known for the same old chaos and bacchanal. Then the next thing I read up also today was Roland Butcher, former English batter and the first ever black player to ever represent England, was also selected as a West Indies men's and youth selector. The former England batter, who played over 15 years in English county cricket with Middle Essex, he was appointed just earlier this week during a Cricket West Indies Board of Directors meeting, and I think it's a good choice for the benefit of the West Indies cricket going forward. He quoted as saying, "It is a great honor and privilege to be given the opportunity to serve West Indies cricket." He also stated, "I'm eager to get started to work alongside the other members of the selection panel as we look to ensure the growth and improvement in West Indies cricket at all levels." Now, in a few weeks from now, West Indies is supposed to select its team for the Zimbabwe tour, which I will not be following, unfortunately. In fact, I don't have interest for that, because West Indies test team, even though they're average, it's the same old crap. And furthermore, the IPL auction was today, which I will talk about in a subsequent video. But with all of what I said about cricket in Pakistan and the West Indies. I will wrap up this video. And first of all, let me just wish everyone a happy holidays. And my advice to y'all, please stay safe, enjoy all yourselves, and also please do not eat too much ham. And to those alcoholics, do not drink too much rum, because I'm not an alcoholic because of bitterness, and everyone knows that for a fact. So until we meet again, folks, have a wonderful night and catch you later. Bye.